recovery to the injured. Following the blast, Indigo issued a travel advisory urging passengers to arrive early for secondary security checks at airports due to heightened security measures. The airline emphasised that passengers should expect delays as security procedures are intensified. Meanwhile, the Ministry of Home Affairs has officially handed over the investigation of the blast to the National Investigation Agency. Home Minister Amit Shah assured that all those involved in the attack would face the full wrath of India's security agencies. The NIA, which has been involved with local police since the blast, has formally begun taking over the case. We will, of course, bring you the updates of that developing story when we get them here on NewsX World. Moving on now and staying in South Asia. And the Pakistani Taliban terror group, otherwise known as the TTP, has now claimed responsibility for a suicide bombing that killed 12 people in Islamabad earlier in the day. The group stated in a message that they had targeted judicial officials, including judges, lawyers, and others who implemented laws that it deemed as un-Islamic. Moreover, the TTP has also threatened further attacks until Islamic Sharia law is implemented in Pakistan. Earlier, we reported that the spokesperson for the TTP, Muhammad Khorasani, has denied any connection to the explosion outside the Islamabad District Court. However, with more updates coming in, it now appears the TTP has in fact claimed responsibility, stating the attack was in response to the court's judgments under Pakistan's un-Islamic laws, as they claim. Now joining us to discuss this situation coming out of Pakistan is Major General R.G.G. Davidi. He's an international relations and defence expert, and he joins us live from New Delhi. Thank you very much for joining us. What more can you tell us about the Pakistani Taliban and what its aims are and what we can expect from the future?
Well, Thomas, Taliban Pakistan, the outfit, came into being in 2007 with a very clear aims and objectives. Its first objective is to overthrow the government of Pakistan and establish Sharia laws, driven or governed government. So that is the first point of, contention, and they have been engaged in repeated attacks on Pakistan, either on the defense establishment against security forces, and even they have targeted the civilian organizations. And these attacks actually have scaled up after the Taliban returned to power in 2021. And now, as you reported, that they have attacked the judiciary people because they claim that the judiciary is not what they expect, and it should be a Sharia law based. Now, there are three very important issues that needs consideration and merit. Firstly, Pakistan has been claiming that Taliban are being supported by the Taliban across the Afghanistan border, which Taliban across have denied that they are not supporting any of activities of TTP. Secondly, the Taliban Pakistan has also groused that their tribal areas, what were earlier known as FTA, have been merged with Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, which they do not accept. And that is another point of contention or a grouse which the Taliban Pakistan holds. And the most important point is that Pakistan itself has encouraged the terrorist proxy wars, and that is part of the national policy, part of the national doctrine. And today they are getting the taste of their own medicine, because all these groups, what they nurtured, are today acting against themselves. So therefore the lesson is that if you rear snakes in the backyard, then those snakes can bite you some other time. So I think this TTP attacks on Pakistan have been on the increase, and they are expected to keep this tempo going until they are able to either achieve the aim or there are peace talks. And interestingly, number of attempts have been made.
Yes.
get some kind of peaceful solution, but they have not fructified so far. Thomas.
Yes, and how strong is the group? And does Pakistan have the intelligence, of course, the manpower to cope with it, to prevent the future attacks that the group has said it's going to conduct?
Well, this group definitely is a force to reckon with because they have been successful in carrying out repeated attacks on Pakistan security forces. And Pakistan security forces have suffered heavy losses. And what actually their strength is that they definitely are very battle-hardened groups because even in Taliban in Afghanistan, they are actually very good. I would say they are very potent and skilled in the ground warfare. And secondly is the ideology, because ideologically they are very deeply embedded and they are also very deeply uh, married or very deeply linked to their cause. So therefore, two things which actually are their strength is firstly they are battle hardened, secondly they are ideologically very motivated, and thirdly, well, whether it is accepted or not, they get certain amount of tacit support from across from Afghanistan because they share the same Deoband ideology. So all I can say is that as far as the unconventional warfare is concerned, Taliban definitely are a force to reckon with, from evident from the fact that they had taken a heavy toll of the Pakistan security forces. Thomas.
Yes, Major General Gigi Davidi, thank you very much for joining us here on NewsX World. It's always a pleasure to get your